Maury was addressing the issue of adding reassuringly familiar human-like features to a robot or prosthetic device. Adding more and more of them elicits more and more positive responses from people, especially when encountering it for the first time, until you hit the valley, when they strangely elicit a reversed negative reaction. It's a retroactive horror in that you're squicked not so much by the thing, but by realizing it's not human when you were thinking of it as human just a moment before. I'm applying the concept to Prendik's experiences, especially after he knows the Beast Folk's non-human origin. Therefore, it's not their non-human features that are distressing, but rather those which are too human and too many, enough to lull you into false recognition at first. For example, only the sudden appearance of a Beastman's teeth when he yawns reminds Prendik that he's not looking at an ordinary human being. Therefore, it's not the teeth that freak him out, but rather everything else, all of which, until that moment, seems normal. What do they look like? The text is unambiguous. Anyone who encounters the Beast Folk thinks they are human people, even upon close-up acquaintance. They are not, for example, hairy, nor is their speech distorted or agrammatical. They flatly do not have non-human heads atop humanoid bodies, digitigrade legs and feet, or tails as they're so often portrayed in illustrations. In Chapter 15, after he learns of the Beast Folk's origin, Prendik describes a number of their physical peculiarities, including their short thighs, incomplete and clumsy hands, and lack of lumbar curvature, with a net effect that the Beast Folk are pretty awful looking. However, in the context of that one basic observation that everyone meeting them does indeed think they're people, then these features can't be so obvious. For him to realize their origins, and before he can list those features so fully, he must be forced to witness the surgery, and even his first such witness actually convinces him of the opposite, that Moreau is operating on a human person. What lies at the near end of the valley? For this is what matters most when the off features are at their most minimal, and the startling, even terrifying effect occurs all the more unexpectedly. At that point, it's the on-model effects that matters most, the things about this creature that are not scattered details, but the entire context, and not only human-like, but unambiguously so, not merely convincing, but actually and genuinely identifiable as ours. At that point, the shock has nothing to do with, oh my, it has fangs, it might bite me. It comes from invoking too much self-reflection. There, I think one unpleasantly finds that we ourselves are not out of the valley when scrutinized too closely, as well as the hint that we rely too much on comforting appearances when assessing someone or something for humanity. Prendik soon discovers this for himself, regarding the Beast Folk's undeniable sameness with ourselves in two activities well known to our species that have so often in human history been tagged with, as he calls it, the unmistakable mark of the beast. I then have my two sections, one on sexuality in women and one on alcohol.